Stardew Valley is, in my opinion, not a fun game. But that shouldn't mean shit to you. Because if you love something, no one else's opinion should matter, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the beginning, and let's take this outside. In 2016, my coworker told me about a game he had recently downloaded and was loving. He described it as a farming sim with so much more, and honestly, it sounded cool at the time. Steven, if you're watching this, damn dude, you really knew about Stardew before the entire world. Back then, it piqued my interest. I don't know why I never picked it up. Honestly, I probably just forgot. Fast forward to 2023, and everyone's asked me if I had played Stardew Valley. And I was like, oh, that farming game? They couldn't believe I had heard about it years before, and honestly, I couldn't believe it either. My default response to people asking why I hadn't played it was, it just doesn't look fun to me. I love watching other people play it though. Most people took that answer as good enough, but still seemed disappointed. Let me be very clear, I think Stardew Valley is brilliant. There's so much I've seen in playthroughs and so much I know I'll never see, but I don't care about discovering those things. Concerned Ape is undoubtedly one of the best game developers of all time, but the dude couldn't bring himself to put more than 2 black people in the game? With such an amazing and immersive character creator, you'd think he'd use it. The lack of diversity is extremely disappointing. Any game that requires fans to make mods to add any sort of diversity or culture is a failure. Also, the dude won't even add more than the normal pronouns? Wow, it's crazy that non-binary people can't exist outside of the big city. Despite this, Stardew Valley is an all-time great game, indie or otherwise. The story is interesting, the mystery is enough to keep you coming back and exploring, the characters are immersive and feel like real people. Hell, the gameplay and world are even based off of the area I grew up in, but it loses me in 2 places. The pixelated look just isn't for me, which is a shame because I could see myself spending a lot of time in Pelican Town. The style and clunky controls really pull this game down, and trust me when I say I gave it a fair shot. I played it for over 5 hours straight, trying to discover and explore as much as I could, trying my hardest to like it. I had fully convinced myself by the time I sat down to play this game that I was going to love it. But, unfortunately, all those years I was right. The second area in which I lost interest was the lack of any tutorial or excitement early in the game. Jacob Geller has a video called Games That Save the Best for Last. In that, he talks about how in game design you make the first level last. This is because games are often long and hard to complete, and you want to put your best foot forward as a developer. Stardew Valley misses this mark by the mile. I was starting to enjoy this game, but I trudged through 5 hours of being bored and selling fish before I found any sort of enjoyment. I was okay with the lack of tutorial because, as Raz puts it, I'm fluent in the language of video games, so it wasn't hard for me to figure out. But if I wasn't a gamer, I would not have been able to. This Minecraft approach to gaming works well when it's done right. And I'll even say, Stardew Valley does it right. But a tutorial option and lower costs for early game items would do a lot for this game in the long run. This project, as a whole, is testing my theory that I like open world games because of the freedom they bring, and putting to the test games that aren't necessarily open world but still offer a lot of freedom. Stardew Valley is not the game for me. The open-ended nature of it is fantastic and allows for limitless possibilities. I dumped nearly 400 hours into Animal Crossing in 2020, before being a streamer or content creation was even on my radar. I did it because I loved it, and I also loved the way it looks. Designing and building in Animal Crossing kept my interest because I was excited about what I could create. For such a simple game, the design opportunities were complex, and I loved the style of the game so much. Stardew's style is not pleasing to my eye. So unfortunately, this means I'm not excited about anything I can create, even if the mechanics were something I enjoyed. The part that does excite me, however, is the mystery. I love the eerie creature noises you hear outside, or the mines and what monsters are lurking at deeper levels. Those things are enough to keep me intrigued, but I don't want to play it. I do like the gameplay, even though it takes a bit to pick up. Stardew Valley is a good game, but the visuals are just too much for me to enjoy it. After playing this game for 3 days straight, I ended up having a long day at work, and didn't want to do anything when I got home aside from watch YouTube videos and lay on the couch. This was the last time I even thought about Stardew Valley. This experience reaffirmed the fact that I really don't like this game. I was hyper focused on it for a couple of days, a couple of hours, and that was starting to be really fun. But the fact that I went away from it and never thought about playing it again really proves that I just don't like this game. I have no desire to return to the farm, no longing to discover what's deeper in the mines, no interest in any of the characters. I don't even remember their names. So, I guess my Stardew experience has come to an end. I wouldn't take back the 6 hours I spent in Pelican Town. Playing games is never a waste of time. At the end of the day, I'm so glad I finally gave this game a shot, even if all that time I was right. And remember, the main reason I didn't like this game is because of the style. If you want to check out Pelican Town and you haven't yet, I highly recommend that you do. Hello. Now, I need a way to rate and compile each of the games I play in this project. I think I'll rate them each in 5 categories: the characters and storyline, the gameplay, the visuals, the music, and my overall thoughts on the game. 1 to 5 stars, no halves, total of 25. So, here we go. First off, characters and storyline. The characters in Stardew Valley are very flat, and I don't actually know what the storyline is. Is it just to fix the community center? Is it to grow your house? Like, I literally don't know. And I don't care. The only reason this score isn't a 1 out of 5 is the scene of Gus helping Linus after Linus digs through the trash for food. 2 out of 5 stars. Second, gameplay. The controls are easy enough to learn, it's just WASD and click. And there's no real like combat or fast-paced action that needs really good and responsive controls. But that being said, the controls are clunky and don't feel good to use. Choosing the right space takes time and effort, and nothing felt smooth or easy to do. 1 out of 5 stars. Third, visuals. Pixel art is not my favorite, especially when it's something I want to sit down and play for a long time, so stylistically, I'm not a big fan of this game. But obviously I'm not the target audience for this, and I think this pixel art works well for the people who like it. It's very cute and appealing. 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, the music. Fantastic. I loved all of it. I would listen to the OST anytime while working or reading or doing anything I want to do. The music really saves the score of this game. Pun intended. 5 out of 5 stars. Finally, overall, I don't like Stardew Valley. I don't like the characters, the storyline, the style, the visuals, really any of it. The only good thing is the music. 2 out of 5 stars. That brings the total score to 13 out of 25. This probably won't come as a surprise, but I won't be returning to Stardew Valley. I just wasn't grabbed by it. It was fun for a few hours, but in the long run, I didn't want to go back to it, and I still don't. I'm so happy for the people who love this game, and if you haven't tried Stardew Valley yet, please don't let my review sway you from trying it. It is an amazing game, it's just not for me. Every game can't be for everyone, and that's alright. I hope you enjoyed the video, whether you agree or disagree with my takes. Thank you for watching. Next up, No Man's Sky. Peace!